come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before the...
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
Ladies and gentlemen, leaders and fighters for freedom and liberty and the American dream, the best is yet to come.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices.
They weren't coming because they couldn't get in. Once they think they can get in, they're coming, and they are coming at levels that you haven't even seen yet.
So notice something. I defended him on his bad joke because I have standards and I have principles.
Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We could talk about Jimmy Dore could go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear word.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. about Jimmy Dork and Jimmy Dork and go and kill about Jimmy Dork and go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
Dumb people, liberal people, dumb people, liberal people, dumb people, dumb people, dumb people, dumb people, dumb people, dumb people.
He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes. And I resent like hell. I'm talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're talking about me.
I don't know, Bo. I know Hunter. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true.
For cocaine use, and he didn't have a job until you became vice president.
In person, in my office, in Philadelphia.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls. I don't know who created Pokemon Go.
That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position. Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody.
Is this thing on? Testing. Testing. Is this thing on? Hello? Hello? Is this on? Can you see me? Just kidding. I knew you couldn't see me the whole time. I was pretending. So, folks, hello. I'm here once again. We got a live show for you. It is a show that is live. The show is live, folks. It is live. I am live. In fact, I am living at this current moment. So, as you can see, my thumbnail is not doing so good. We're in a rough spot right now on the thumbnail front. I'm trying to get this shit to focus, but yeah, this is not looking so good. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm trying to fix my thumbnail and or just get rid of this part. Alright, I got it. Okay? If anyone wants this little bit of thumbnail that I removed, feel free. Bidding starts at $20. Just let me know. But anyway, welcome to the goddamn stream. Do a makeup stream. I've never done makeup in my life, so I couldn't do that. You won't see me. That's true. You won't see me. It is an on. We cannot hear you asking if it was on. I see. Okay. That should be the thumbnail for the video. It should be. I mean, it really should be. So as you can see, folks, we got Max the dog. Where is he? This side. Got Max the dog. Maxie! Maxie! I'm gonna get Max the dog over here. Max! He's a naked doggy. Look at him. Hi, Max. You wanna put your paws on my lap? Look at this dog. Put your paws on my lap. Oh my god. Look at what we have here, folks. Look at what we have here. Wow. This is incredible. Max the motherfucking dog. Folks, I just have to tell you, this dog is amazing. I love this dog so much. I'm gonna brush the doggy. Max, you're a naked doggy. Where's your clothes? Put some clothes on. Oh, look at him. Look at him. I'm gonna cry. I spend most of my days crying in the fetal position, just staring at this dog because I love him so much. You can't see him, but he's licking the air right now. Get him, Max, get him. Get him, get him, get him, get him. Alright. Alright, Max, you can kind of chill if you want. Okay. So we're gonna do we got a show. So let's do that. Look at this goddamn dog. What are you doing? What are you doing? You see his leg? Oh my god, I'm having too much fun. Oh lord. Alright. Look at this fucking dog. So yesterday was day 96, folks, of protests in the city of Elizabeth City in the county of Pasquotank County over the police shooting of Andrew Brown Jr. We did some more sidewalk demonstrations yesterday. And very similar to the day before, we walked around downtown, holding up signs. This time we had megaphones, and so we utilized them. And so we're holding up signs, screaming into the buildings downtown, and just making our voices heard and protesting for justice. So we went downtown by some restaurants. We went by the police station, which was pretty good. And then we went down in this direction. And we walked around Main Street and then into Road Street once again. And people showed up a little late, and we had some people join us as we were walking. And we were collecting more people as we walked around town. And it's been pretty good. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, protesting is just a thing you do in Elizabeth City. It's just a tourist attraction. You come here, you protest the government, and then you go get a cup of coffee. I mean, that's just kind of what we've been doing. So, I'm just telling you to look at this dog. Oh my god, I love you so much. Unfortunately, Max doesn't come out to the protests because he's afraid of people. But, we went down on Elizabeth Street with the flag and the megaphone, and we got some people, you know, rolling down their windows and saying, you know, like, Black Lives Matter or no justice, no peace. Some of them, you know, saying get a real job, but, you know, what are you going to do? Sometimes you just can't get a real job. And so, again, yesterday was pretty good. We'll see about today, and, you know, I'll keep you posted, but another win, another protest for the books, and I'm happy to be a part of it, so it's pretty good. I accidentally turned the label off on my show. Alright. How's the Covfefe scene? Well, I mean, there's Covfefe. Look at this dog. Look at this dog. You got 4 paws, Max. You have 4. You have 4. Max the doggy, Max the dog. Max the doggy, doggy dog. Look at his, like, fluff right here. Max, you're naked. Put some clothes on. You're naked. Why are you so naked? He doesn't even know what naked means. He doesn't even know. He has no idea he's naked. He has no idea. I'm not naked, Max. Why are you naked? The only people I tell to get a real job are cops. Yo, same. Now he's scratching himself with his teeth. Maxie, you don't need to do that. You're an ornament for my stream. You just sit here and look cute. That's your job. And I'm going to give you a treat if you do it good. Look at him. Look at this precious dog. I'm gonna... He's right back in it. Let me drink some water. Max needs to earn some cash to buy soup for the family. That's right. I'm putting Max to work. Alright, dog. Alright, dog. You sit here and look pretty, because I'm going to do a YouTube show. Alright. Look at this dog. I just love him so much. He's so cuddly. Look. I mean, y'all don't even know. Like, these motherfuckers. There are people here that don't even know. Like, they just don't know. Like, I'm like, y'all motherfuckers have no idea. Max is the cuddliest, comfiest dog in the history of dogs. So, folks, we're about to talk about Force the Vote. I'm letting y'all know now that we're getting into this now. Look at this dog. Alright, folks. Force the motherfucking vote. So. Cori Bush, folks. She went to the March for Medicare for All Washington, D.C. event. And she was asked about Force the Vote. And I'm going to play that video. But first, I want to show one of the organizers' reactions to Cori Bush showing up at the March for Medicare for All. As I was emceeing, Pro Peace 97 made me aware that Cori Bush showed up plus insulted FTV dash, unfortunately for her. I had the microphone. How dare anyone tell disabled people now is not the time? How dare you just make some couple men? How dare you just make some couple men? Appearance for photo ops after we asked you plus got no 1/. Reply. How dare you show up plus? Not even so. I can't even read that. Hold on. Okay. Give me a goddamn second. Okay. Reply. How dare you show up plus? Not even so much as tweet our hashtag for 56 nationwide M4A events. As a disabled person with no income for the past 19 months. I was literally selling my old clothes online to make a few dollars. And I donated to you. I thought you were an activist. I just reply. I know it's got no 1/. I know, I get it. So the organizers are not happy. And so the Pro Peace guy made some videos. So I think there's this is like a thread of the follow-up, and this is the initial reaction. So let's play the initial reaction, and then we'll see what happened here.
You all know what that is, and I know it's controversial.
So this is Savage Joy Marie speaking, and I don't know why the video is sideways. These are some very professional journalists. And, so, yeah.
So, what the guys haven't touched on is, Force the Vote. I'm not sure if you all know what that is, and I know it's controversial because of the person whose channel it was on, which is clearly the most important part. So, I was on as the disabled speaker, and it was the first time I ever went public with losing my eyesight.
Can you hear this? Like, is this audible? Let me turn this up. So this is, of course, the person who was at the People's Party Town Hall back in January. who was crying, and then Jimmy Dore profited off of her crying. Like, isn't that super interesting? Like, I will still never get over that, like, I don't think Jimmy Dore shared any of those super chat monies. But anyway, so she's getting up there, and she's crying once again. And I haven't watched this yet, so I'm watching this live. So I'm just trying to get the scoop like you.
And it was the first time I ever said the word disabled as she was talking about myself. And it was the first time I said, I admitted that going through the trauma of going blind leaves you so many times that you hope you don't wake up in the morning. And I shared all that for the first time. And I poured my soul into that speech. And I did that speech because it was a plea. It was a plea to the people who
Okay, so I want to interject here and say that this is my main problem with Force the Vote. This is my main problem with the March for Medicare for All. Is that they weaponize poor people's anger and funnel it into something useless. So the core organizing principle of Force the Vote fanatics and quote-unquote activists is that politicians are useless, even AOC is garbage. Right? And Cori Bush was at the March for Medicare for All, and they called her garbage even though she went there. So the whole purpose is to attack politicians. But they're doing a March for Medicare for All. Well, what is Medicare for All? Medicare for All is legislation that would be enacted by politicians. So they're simultaneously saying all politicians are useless while begging politicians to enact legislation. Why not make all these marches about fundraising and mutual aid? Or other forms of direct activism? How come all the marches are about trying to demand politicians enact legislation while simultaneously saying all the politicians are evil and won't enact the legislation? It's weird. Like, it's weird. And again, it makes the movement for Medicare for All look weak, annoying, and silly. But again, it's horrifying to listen to people that are genuinely in need of a universal healthcare system, right? Like, we all need a universal healthcare system. But to see people crying on stage and then going out there later on and attacking Cori Bush on Twitter, like, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. So let's keep playing this.
Is it your permit?
So anyway, I'm not going to keep playing this. So this is the guy, Pro Peace, had an interaction with Cori Bush. I don't know what this, I don't know what this has to do. But anyway, so this is the guy that harassed Cori Bush about forced... Okay. Oh, Lord. Holy shit, fuck. Oh, my God. My ears are recovering. Please. Don't extradite Assange. That's a good Easter egg. All right. So this is apparently what happened with Cori Bush. This is really funny. Let's watch.
So I was going to wait till tomorrow morning to do this, but I just want to get it out of my head right now, while it's still fresh, while the sunburn's still fresh on my face, So I met Cori Bush. Representative Cori Bush made a surprise appearance at the March for Medicare for All rally in Lincoln Park in Washington, D.C. today. And so, noticing Cori Bush, I walk over to her and I ask, can I interview you? Can I just ask you 2 questions on camera, just real quick? Her and her security guard look at each other. They're kind of suspicious of me. They're like, who are you with? And I say, I'm totally independent. I'm just doing this for myself. I just do this alone. And then I was like, here, I'll even tell you the questions before I start filming so that you can decide whether you want to do this or not. And so I said, the first question is, why are you here today? Why'd you show up to the March for Medicare for All? The second question was, how would you respond to your Force the Vote critics who think that elected progressives should...
Okay, I'm sorry. What kind of question is that? So, okay. Is the group of people calling themselves Force the Vote critics? What? That's not English. Like, I'm sorry. There's like a lapse in the language here. Okay? How would you respond to your Force the Vote critics? What? Like, I'm so confused as to what that even means.
The second question was, how would you respond to your Force the Vote critics who think that elected progressives should use their leverage as a block?
As a block.
And Corey responds, I'll answer the first question for you.
I just gotta tell you. The response that Corey gives, you're gonna love it.
Support Medicare for all because, you know,
love it. You don't even know. I've seen the video. You haven't seen this video. Maybe you have. If you haven't, you're gonna, okay, I'm just letting you know right now. Like, now you know, strap in, buckle up. If you're driving, pull over. If you're sitting, you know, in a recliner, maybe, like, you know, pull down the leg thing so you don't, like, you know, or, like, if you're in the kitchen making breakfast, you know, put the knife down. Hold your fucking phone. Hold your fucking phone, folks, because Corey Bush's response here is really good. Let's watch.
Answer on why you would support Medicare for all. But then, when it came to the second question, I asked again, you know, why can't you answer the second question? Oh, it's just manufactured division. You know, it's not really a problem. You know, we're not that divided at all. That's just manufactured. You know, basically just brushing it off as if nobody has a reasonable concern. Like, as if Force the Vote wasn't even a real thing. And so, while she's walking...
As if Force the Vote wasn't even a real thing.
Unbelievable.
Yo, okay. When I first saw this morning, I was cackling. I was laughing. Because this is the exact perfect response from Corey Bush. Force the Vote is literally a QAnon for the left tier conspiracy. It is so far divorced from reality. And go back and watch my videos from December and January, because bitch, motherfucker, I called this shit, man. Like, I don't want to, like, pat myself on the back too hard here, but I called this shit. I called this shit. I told y'all back in December, Force the Vote would be a fucking QAnon tier conspiracy theory, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and they're going to divorce themselves from reality, and then they're going to live in an alternate fantasy world, and then they're going to try to, like, they're going to talk to Corey Bush, and then Corey Bush is living in the real world, and they're in, like, the fantasy Force the Vote world, and that's when worlds collide. I told you that this would happen. And it's happening right now. And Corey Bush just walks away, apparently, and it's just really funny.
Walking away, I say that was a very politician-y answer of you to give. Because it was like, what the fuck? She totally just dodged it. You know, all of these people showed up this day.
How was that a politician-y answer? Like, she was very direct. Force the Vote is manufactured divisiveness, and it doesn't really exist. There's and if you look at these marches, there's only like 12 people here because no one cares. This is a podcaster convention. This is for a bunch of people to follow on Twitter and get their clout numbers up. That's all this is. This isn't a march for Medicare for all. This is a march for my podcast. That's what this is. And it's so fucking funny to me.
You'll see in the interviews I post, plenty of them were supporters of forcing the vote on Medicare for all. And for Corey Bush to just disrespectfully say that it's a manufactured division and that it's not worthy of her to respond to, I mean, I was furious. But, you know, it's over. She walks away. She's still here at the rally today. Okay.
So there's more.
Okay, we're happy. So then, I'm filming the event, people giving their speeches and whatnot, and Savage Joy was giving a really good speech about Force the Vote and why it was so personal to her because of her own personal history.
Again, her story has nothing to do with Force the Vote. Savage Joy, I'm telling you right now, if she or anyone thinks her story is relevant to Force the Vote, they're ridiculously, very, very much so, having lost the plot. Her story is personal to having and demanding universal health care. Force the Vote is it literally did not get us universal health care. And so I don't know what this fantasy world is. This is why Force the Vote was so important to me. What was important? A failed political strategy that had no actual organizing behind it, that a podcaster used as a springboard litmus test to gain a lot of subscribers and Patreon money? How is that important? I'm asking you this question. The force the vote people. What is it about it's a failed political strategy. It failed. In fact, it didn't even fail because it didn't even start, because that's how bad it failed. It failed so hard, they literally couldn't even get it off the ground. They couldn't even give an attempt. That's how bad it was. So, but again, these are all stories relevant to Medicare for All, absolutely. But this is not a force the vote story. My force the vote story is I'm uninsured and I'm disabled. How is that a force the vote story? It doesn't make any sense at all.
You know, her medical history and whatnot. And so I felt this feeling jumping out of my chest of, I need to say something because Cori Bush is here and I know she's going to get credit for looking good for showing up to this event surprisingly. You know, wow.
She's going to get credit. Folks, we cannot let Cori Bush get credit. If Cori Bush got credit, the world would fall apart. I'll take debit, please.
So awesome that she showed up. But then, you know, you just have somebody like Savage Joy up here giving a heartfelt explanation about how force the vote made her feel. And I was like, no. Cori Bush is not about to get away with what she said to me.
What?
You know, and nobody else...
Okay. Yo, folks. What that force the vote made me feel tingly inside because I got invited on Jimmy Dore's podcast. Like, I'm just like... I'm really trying to figure this out, and I'm sorry for blowing my nose. For whatever reason, I've been getting allergy attacks like this every random... I don't even want to get into that, but I'm getting a lot of allergy attacks. But... how is force the vote personal to you? Other than the fact that it got you on Jimmy Dore's podcast. Like, I'm struggling here to understand what it is the fuck these people are talking about.
Knowing that she said that to me. And I was so pissed that I didn't film Cori Bush right away. I was being respectful when I walked up to Cori Bush. I didn't have the phone in her face filmed.
So, first of all, that's not how you play it. You record, put your phone, like, in your hand, hold it so that the screen is facing away from them, and just try to, like, hold it casually before you tell them that you want to film them. That way you get everything on film. I mean, I'm not the best journalist out there, but I can tell you, if you don't know about, like, the secretly always film politicians maneuver, you're not that bright. I'm just saying, like, and maybe this is, like, a learning moment for this guy, but... So, like, but I just okay. Savage Joy cries about being disabled, and, you know, and I'm not trying to say that to be, you know, offensive to her. She was literally crying. And about how Medicare for All would change her life, and it would change the lives of many, many people. 70,000, at least, people die every year before the pandemic due to lack of health insurance and adequate health care. And so, she somehow... says that that's not a Medicare for All story, but it's a force the vote story. And that Cori Bush showing up for credit, I don't even know what credit is. I'm trying to wrap my mind, like, what are, like, these people live in a fantasy world. Like, this is like second grade in, like, a sitcom. Like, you know, like, on fucking, like, you know, the Nickelodeon shows that you'd watch with the kids that are, like, you know, 12 years old or whatever, and they're going around the school. That's what this is. Like, okay, so this other person's gonna get credit because someone had a strategy that failed in a previous episode of the sitcom, and then another character is gonna come in and get credit, and then I'm just trying to fucking understand, like, what the hell does that mean? Credit for what? Credit for what? Like, I just, like, where's the credit going? Like, I'm just like, what are these people talking? Like, they treat every interaction like it's, like, a fucking podcast, like, intellectual, like, debate or something. Like, oh, yeah, I got credit for this. Yeah, I got credit. What? Oh, yeah, no, I got credit for it. Yeah, no, that's right. Because I said this on that and then did this, so I got credit. What is credit? That's nothing. Let's keep going.
Filming right away? No.
I'm sorry, I'm pretty high right now, so I'm just kind of going on.
Myla, force the clown show, clown emoji, $5. Thank you so much.
Let her vet the questions ahead of time. I didn't even start filming right away. I should have been filming, so I have proof that she said these things. But so Savage Joy is giving this speech, and it's really touching and really inspiring to me. So finally, I shout out, go look over there. You know, there's Cori Bush over there. She, you know, is against force the vote. She said that it's a manufactured division and that it's not.
Okay. First of all, I mean, this guy is obviously a lunatic. But, like, okay. So someone is giving a heartfelt speech. She's crying. And you decide to, like, interrupt their speech to talk about, hey, look, there's Cori Bush. What? Like, I'm just like, who does that? And then it's also, like she doesn't support Force the Vote failed. It was it did not happen. The goal of Force the Vote was to withhold your speakership vote for Nancy Pelosi and, in turn, get a floor vote on Medicare for All. And then that would confirm Nancy Pelosi as speaker. And then you'd get Medicare for All voted no, and then you'd know who voted no, and then you'd campaign. That was the original Force the Vote. It didn't happen. So how can you be against it if it didn't happen? For you to be against Force the Vote in July of 2020, it would have to be on the table. It's not on the table. It's off the table. It was never on the table. That shit was in the refrigerator and people forgot about it and it expired and it just went directly to the trash can. No one wanted it. So, like, again, what the fuck is going on?
The vote, she said that it's a manufactured division and that it's not a real divide. But, you know, so she was basically, I called out Cori Bush in front of everybody, trying to point out, you know, she's invalidating you, Savage Joy. You know,
how is Cori Bush invalidating you? Force the Vote didn't happen. I told y'all this in December. I was like, again, I'm not usually this intelligent or prescient, but I'm one smart cookie. Look at my Force the Vote videos from December, and you will see me, like, explicitly lay this out, because it's the same roadmap as QAnon. It's the same. I mean, hey, I'm not that smart. I just, like, you know, said if this is gonna reach its natural. Like, if they're not going to nip this in the bud now, it's going to end up like QAnon. And that's exactly what it is. Like, I'm just saying. She went there because she supports Medicare for All, and she's fighting for that in Congress. So she went to the March for Medicare for All. Force the Vote was a political strategy that was brought up in December that had an expiration date that was January 5th. Or was it 4th? Or 3rd. I think it was January 3rd. That was the expiration date. It didn't happen. Force the Vote did not happen. So now, in the fight for Medicare for All, there's multiple strategies of getting it on the floor. There's multiple strategies of getting it passed through Congress, right? And people are right now weighing those strategies and thinking about which one is the ideal scenario. Force the Vote did not happen. I don't know, like, I know that these people are lunatics, and I get that they've fallen down a QAnon rabbit hole. I understand that. But I need you to understand how funny it is from my perspective. This is hilarious shit. These motherfuckers literally have lost the plot. Like, it was the March for Medicare for All. That was round 2. Like, the same people that did Force the Vote did the March for Medicare for All because that was their next strategy of trying to get Medicare for All. Force the Vote did not work. And so some of them came up with a new grift. And these people somehow, and this is the same thing with QAnon, right? Where you get, they start these warring factions within QAnon of, like, people that think Pence is secretly, like, you know, opening the door for Trump to have, like, you know, to come back in August, or, you know, like, and then there's the other QAnons that hate Trump, or that hate Pence or whatever, right? This is, okay. The March for Medicare for All was Force the Vote round 2. It's the same grift, but a new label. These people are still stuck on the old grift and the old label. It's the same grift. They just won't update it. Like, the playbook should have been, oh, Cori Bush came to the March for Medicare for All. What are you doing to get Medicare for All right now? Why, like, that should have been. But instead, it's about Force the Vote, which, again, I got news for you. It did not happen. There was no Force the Vote. It's July! Like, if you would have asked me in December, if you would have time traveled, and then you would have, like, you know, posted in the chat room, and you would have said, hey, you're going to still be making videos about Force the Vote in July, I'd be like, okay, buddy, sure. But like, again, the March for Medicare for All is the next Trojan horse grifter podcast thing. That's what it is. But these people are still stuck on like just the words, the phrase, forced to vote. It's bizarre.
Cori Bush is here, and that's great. We're so happy that she's there in solidarity. But how can you on one hand be there in solidarity, but then on the other hand, the people you're there in solidarity with, you won't even give us a straight answer on working together as a bloc to leverage against the establishment. You know, and
here's the thing. They're literally doing that on the infrastructure bill. Like, there's more. I mean, I'm going to play this because, sunken cost fallacy. I might as well finish him. But, man, this guy is one crazy motherfucker.
That's a lot of people there want that answer. That's why I asked Cori Bush that question directly. And it's just like, you know, and after I called her out in front of everybody, you know, Cori Bush just kind of walks away.
Yeah, I would too. If some fucking freak show was yelling at me, I'd fucking get the hell out of there too. But here's the thing. Like, I know I keep saying it, but Force the Vote didn't work. It didn't happen. Like, okay, are you gonna leverage your power? They're already leveraging their power. Now, you can disagree with how they're doing it, but they're already showing that they're doing it. That's been, like, in the news for the last week and a half, as they're, you know, using their block status on the infrastructure bill. That's what they're doing. So, and now you can criticize that. You can say they should have done that during the American Rescue Plan. I would agree with that, right? And that's the thing, is, like, I agree with a lot of the things strategically that these people are saying. And that's what makes these, like, rabbit holes so easy to get lost in. Because you see, oh, I support Medicare for All. 3 months of watching Jimmy Dore later, you're a forced to vote dumb fucker. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's just watch this. This is the last a minute and a half. Oh, God.
Won't even give us a straight answer on working together as a bloc to leverage against the establishment. You know, and
okay,
a lot of...
The other thing that I've got a question is, like, I thought AOC and Cori Bush were the establishment. Let's read this guy's tweet. Don't let politicians gaslight you. Speak truth to power, even when it's uncomfortable. Politicians need to be held accountable. Our pressure brings them closer to genuine solidarity. Okay, alright. So, is Cori Bush the establishment, or is the establishment the establishment? Also, politicians need to be held accountable. How did you hold Cori Bush accountable? Where was the accounting process? What happened? Is it because she didn't get credit? Like, you didn't give her the oh, Cori Bush, you got credit. Here, what's that? Oh, an empty hand? Are you trying to give me a handshake? No, I'm giving you some credit. What? Like, I'm trying to, like, how did she get held to account? You just, like, yelled at her and asked her a really stupid question, and then she didn't answer and left. How did she get held accountable? What did she get held accountable for? These people literally think yelling at a politician in and of itself is, like, that gives them, like, some, like, good boy points. Like, they think, oh, I yelled at a politician, therefore I'm a winner. Well, did you get the point across? Did you come out looking good? What was it over? Why did you do it? Right? Oh yeah, no, I was yelling at probably the furthest left member of Congress, because she isn't an active supporter of a political strategy that didn't happen. What? Like, I'm really, like, it's not like she was yelling at, like, Nancy Pelosi, how dare you subsidize Cobra or whatever and give, you know, all this big bailouts to health insurance industry and company or whatever. Right? How dare you do this and use, you know, the American Rescue Plan as, like, a Trojan horse to give Big Pharma more money. Like, that's one thing. But it's like, you're, like, going after Cori Bush for shit that she had nothing, like, she has no... That's like attacking the pizza delivery driver because, like, you're missing mushrooms on your pizza. It's weird. It's strange. I'm sorry. I'm way too high for this. Let's continue.
People there want that answer. That's why I asked Cori Bush that question directly.
What?
And it's just like, and after I called her out in front of everybody, Cori Bush just kind of walks away, walks towards the back of the crowd, and leaves.
What is...
she didn't give a speech or anything.
What? Called out? Like, I don't understand. Like, I really... Like, okay, so Cori Bush got called out. Like, these people literally act as if this is, like, a Debate Bro podcast. They literally think that this is, like, a talk show panel in real life. Oh, yeah, called out, bro! Yeah, you got called out. What? Like, I'm really, like... Yeah, I called out Cori Bush. I called her out. Yeah, and I held a politician accountable. I held the politician accountable and I called her out. Those words mean nothing. Like, I'm really, like, you gain no information based, like, those are useless words. Like, the whole point of language is to communicate so that information can travel from one human to another. Oh, I called out Cori Bush. I held her accountable. We got no information. We are, before knowing that and after knowing that, we have the same level of understanding of the situation. That is to say, we got nothing. You held them to account. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean?
Basically, I exposed her for having lied.
Yo, I can't. Another good one. I exposed her. Oh, what'd you do today? Oh, I exposed Cori Bush. What the fuck? Oh, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, I exposed her. I called her out. What did you call her out? What happened? Oh, I yelled at her and held her to account. I was holding a politician accountable and I exposed her. What the fuck did you... Like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, I literally, like, this guy is, like, using, like, YouTube search engine optimization, like, headlines in his everyday speech. Like, he literally talks like a fucking robot. Like, he talks like the YouTube algorithm. Because YouTubers, we title things in a certain way to please the algorithm. This guy literally speaks in YouTube buzzwords. So what'd you do? What'd you do the other day, Jethro? Oh, I went to the March for Medicare for All and I supported Force the Vote and I held politicians accountable. I exposed Cori Bush. It has to get worse. I mean, let me go back. I need to get exposed.
I exposed her for having lied, for her fake solidarity.
What was the fake
she's
solidarity?
Showing solidarity with us while on the other hand slapping us in the face. And I just...
How did she slap you in the face? Like, I know that I'm very litigious when it comes to, like, picking apart this bullshit when people speak, and I welcome anyone to pick apart my bullshit when I speak. But again, how did she slap you in the face? What made you feel that way? Because she didn't support a political strategy that didn't happen 7 months ago? That's slapping you in the face? She came there because she supports Medicare for All and wanted to see what people were talking about. Once she realized that this was a forced to vote, like, dum-dum op, she left because she had that's a waste of time. How is that slapping you in the face? And also accusing someone of not, like, oh, you don't support forced to vote? I guess you can't get healthcare. I guess you just don't care about Medicare for All. Again, forced to vote did not happen. So how can someone support forced to vote in July of 2021 when it did not happen? It just did. It literally did not happen. Like, I'm sorry for spending so much time on this, but I mean, what is happening here? Max, do you know?
So let there be a lesson be learned.
We got a lesson
out of
here.
all of this.
Okay. I'm ready?
You don't have to just quietly sit by when politicians gaslight you.
Oh,
No.
What was the gaslight? Like, she was pretty direct. Like, gaslighting is an abuser tactic. For those of you that don't know, gaslighting is basically if an abuser tries to convince you that you are basically the reason why they are abusing you, in other words. So, she was very direct. She basically said, yeah, force the vote, it didn't happen, and it's dumb drama, and I don't want to get involved in it. That was like, as far as being direct, that was like as upfront and very, very, very direct, like as I could possibly imagine. In fact, I'm shocked that she was so direct. That's not gaslighting. That's just telling you how she felt. She felt that Force the Vote was a stupid reactionary drama shit. That's not gaslighting. I'm sorry.
Should call them out, even if it's in front of a crowd of people who are supportive of this person. And, you know, and it was maybe, I don't know what the divide is. Not everybody is conclusively in support of Cori Bush, but you get my point.
Now, here's another question. What does it mean to be in support of Cori Bush? Like, do you live in her district? No? So what are you doing? Oh, I support Cori Bush. What does that mean? Like, again, I'm baffled by all these word choices. Like, these people literally are robots that speak in YouTube buzzwords, and they're not real people. Like, these are aliens. Like, you know, have you ever played Destroy All Humans? Like, this is someone with the fucking, like, the imposter ray or whatever. This is an alien. This guy is not a real human being. I don't understand what the hell he's saying. Yeah, I support Cori Bush. Okay. And then she comes there and then she says that I don't like Force the Vote. I think it's silly. And then, well, now I don't support Cori Bush. Support her for what? Do you live in her district? No? Well, then what is your support? Is that next to the credit? Like, I'm just like, I'm really like, who cares? And that's the other thing is like, if AOC, if Cori Bush, if Ilhan Omar do something good, I'll say, yeah, that's good. If they do something bad, I'll say, yeah, that's bad. What does it mean to support them? That doesn't mean anything.
Call out politicians, even the politicians who are showing you solidarity, but if it's a half-assed solidarity, don't be afraid to say something about.
How is it half-assed? Like, I really, he hasn't explained how it's been half-assed. Cori Bush showed up. He went to ask a stupid question. She was very direct in her answer. I'm really trying my best here to figure out what the hell is going on in this guy's brain. And I should have seen the don't extradite Assange button, and I should have just said, all right, whatever. But here we are 30 minutes later. I've wasted my whole day picking apart a fucking 6-minute video about Force. What the hell? Record scratch, freeze frame. I bet you're wondering how I got here 35 minutes into a fucking segment on this guy's fucking bitch ass. Like, I don't even know how I got here, but let's finish it.
You know, there are more people that might support you than you realize. So just speak truth to power, even when your voice shakes.
What? Like, I'm just like, this is like some really crazy shit. And like, in general, I'm a fan of yelling at politicians. Like, I yell at politicians, I yell at cops, I yell at anyone with any position of authority. Right? And I've posted the videos of me yelling at these motherfuckers. You know I'm serious. Y'all know I don't mess around. But it's like, when I'm yelling at them, there's like a goal in mind. Like, I have an end goal. I have something I would like to reasonably accomplish. So if I'm yelling at a politician, I would say maybe my goal would be, you know, make other people record the moment of them walking away from a question on something that they've, you know, put themselves out. Like, you know, let's say Cori Bush said, I am no longer in support of Medicare for all as a policy. In fact, I want to privatize a healthcare industry even more. And so she goes there, and then you say, but why did you abandon Medicare for all? Why did you sign on to the privatization of healthcare, even more so, Bill, whatever? Like, that would be a tough question, and then someone can feel... Yelling at a politician and saying, force the vote, force the vote, force the vote! What is the goal being accomplished there? There's no goal. There was no laid out plan of action, and they did not follow through, and they accomplished no goals. And so, therefore, they just look stupid. They wasted yelling, but they feel like yelling at a politician in and of itself is some grand task. Yelling at a politician is a strategy, right? You do it with a goal in mind. You don't just scream, force the vote, force the vote, force the vote, force the vote! That makes you look like a fucking crazy person. Like, I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. Forced to vote, forced to vote. What? Like, I don't know. Like, I spent way too long on this video, but I love, one of my favorite things in the world is just doing, like, these picking aparts of stupid people. To me, again, I love this shit. I live for this shit. This is so goddamn entertaining for me for no reason. This should not be this entertaining. It really shouldn't. Force the vote! Force the vote! Like, I am shocked. I've spent way too long. I can't believe I sat here for 40 fucking minutes dissecting this motherfucker. But anyway, that's the March for Medicare for All. Not looking so good, folks. Definitely could use some improvement. But they're trying their best. They're trying their best. Holy shit. That's so funny. That whole thing is hilarious. So this seems to be a very relevant article. This is a great segue, so check this out, folks. The state of American friendships, change, challenges, and loss. So this is a new survey that basically shows Americans have no friends, and it's honestly a little sad. So we can read this whole thing. But young women most likely to report losing touch with friends during the pandemic. Now again, this is a subject that I've been talking about for a long time, is the atomization of society. How did we get to a point as a social species where we're afraid of each other and everyone's afraid of everyone all the time? It's bizarre. And with this pandemic, people being stuck inside, people being, trapped in ways of communicating they may not have had much, for me, I lived on the internet before because I'm a loser, right? But, now everyone's a loser. And now everyone's, there's a lot of people that are struggling to become winners again in the fields in the social realm. So let's read this. Percentage who have lost touch or remained in contact with friends over the past 12 months. We have lost touch with most of my friends, lost touch with a few friends, remained in regular contact. So really, what it is the blues are basically the same thing. Lost touch with most of my friends. These are people that have fallen into the hole. They're isolated now. Like, that would mean all of my friends, most, like that. Like, imagine, right? You're a social person. You go out, 2-3 times a week, and then you are stuck inside. You work a shitty job. You go home, and you cry on the internet. Right? That's like 10% of young women. That's crazy. And lost touch with a few friends is the high part, 43%. And like people 18 to 29, even like older people. Again, the numbers are relatively similar even in older generations. And now imagine being older. And again, this goes into like the QAnon thing. A lot of people got stuck inside and were on Facebook all day, and that's how they talk to their friends. And then all of a sudden on Facebook, they see the QAnon. Like, the older you get, the harder it is to make new friends. So a lot of these older people, right? At one point, I'm sure that they can pick up the phone and rekindle stuff. But again, it really puts people in a state of mind. It can really make people depressed. And so, that's incredible to see. And again, the male to female ratio on this one is very interesting. Because apparently young women are very, very likely to have lost all their friends. But it's just the young women. The older women, they're fine. They're just chilling. And then, the men are all basically the same. But it's again, this is something that I wanted to talk about. Because young men rely more on parents for personal support. Men don't know how to speak to people, motherfucker. I'm just saying, y'all need to work on it. Percentage who say they usually talk to blank first when they have a personal problem. All Americans, young men, young women. Okay, where's the parents? Oh, damn. Freaking mama's boys. But again, this is another thing, is people are right now in a state where we're all atomized. We don't know each other. We don't like each other. We're afraid of each other. And that's a bad road to go down. I'm telling you, that's a bad road to go down. Percentage of Americans who say they have the following number of close friends, not counting their relatives. None. 12% of Americans have no friends. 3% was in 1990. Now it's 12. They have no friends. Nobody likes them. They're a freak. And I'm not helping. I'm still in the comedy brain. I'm sorry. But I'm sorry. But my point is, like, that's fucked up. Like, how did we get here as a society? Jay creates, does my mom count? This is not counting relatives. Okay, 7% have one friend. The most common amount of people, 17%, have 3 friends. Only 13% of Americans have more than 10 friends. That's crazy! How come everyone hates each other so much? It's bizarre. Americans with more friends report greater satisfaction with how many they have. Percentage of Americans, okay, so none, they're completely, so 12 and 17%. Right? Those are, they're pretty satisfied. No friends, whatever. Yeah, I got no friends. Just chilling. Oh, you want to go somewhere? Let me ask my friend. Oh, just kidding. I have no friends. In fact, the fact that you're asking me to go somewhere is very chilly. So I don't want to do that because then you might be my friend. I have no friends. But that's fine. You know, if you don't want friends, that's cool. But again, most people not too satisfied with that. Most people are like, you know what? This isn't an optimal. So this is not what I want. You know, maybe I'm okay with it for now, but on a long-term perspective, most people don't like that. And again, I'm just like trying to point this out that this is like super duper scary because if you look at the trends, fewer Americans today have a best friend. 59% say they have a best friend, and 1990 it was 75%. That's crazy. Now this is another one. Republicans have more friends across the political divide than Democrats. Republicans. Percentage of Republicans or Democrats who have a friend who are among Republicans. Okay. So I guess more Republicans have Democrat friends than vice versa. I'm not going to be a friend with a Republican. I'm sorry. I refuse. Like, if you vote for a political party that has the explicit purpose of trying to commit genocide on people like me, I gotta be honest, I'm not interested. But that's just me, though. Like, that's just me. But again, like, you know, we're in this world where everything is divisive. Everyone's hating each other. Everyone's afraid of each other. And this is not good. I mean, this is what civil wars are made out of. You know, this is like, you know, societal collapse imminent. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty fucking scary. It's pretty fucking scary. So I just wanted to point that out. And if you have no friends, I hope that you can feel comfortable in my chat room for an hour a day or whatever. And then I hope that that can be a good thing for you. But either way, this is some scary stuff. And, you know, definitely you want to keep up to date on these numbers. Because these are indicative of a lot of other things. Yeah, I'm going to do one more story. So this is extremely funny. Alright, folks. This is actually really funny. So, the person running in Ohio's 11th district against Nina Turner, Chantel Brown, had a very interesting please clap sort of moment. And, well, let me just say, this is a little bit worse than Jeb Bush, if you think that's possible.
Get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
Alright, so let's one up.
Everybody gather around 1 moment, please. Please, please, please. Please, please, please.
I don't know if this music's gonna...
Can y'all please come this way? I know y'all saw him already. He was here earlier performing for y'all.
So as you can see, there's no one there, right? There's a very lackluster crowd, and the DJ is controlling these little speakers. And they've got literal, like, there's an applause button. They have a button to have an applause because no one will clap for her.
I have to thank my political brother, my spiritual brother, my baby brother, Bashir Jones, Councilman Bashir Jones. Give it up for him. Councilman candidate for mayor, but again, that is not about life. Things are going my way. So fast forward, election day comes, the polls close, and I was down by 6 votes. 11 days later, I learned that there were 23 provisional ballots in my race, and that I had won by 7 votes. 7 votes.
No one's clapping.
7 votes. Can anybody say 7?
What on God's, like, what is going on here? What is happening? Like, folks, I really, like, these are the most important questions we need to be asking. Is what the fuck is going on here? Like, no, like, okay, first of all, 7 votes. Someone say 7 votes. Why? Like, that was her way of signaling to the DJ, please give me the candle after. But it's like, 7 votes? Like, I'm supposed to go like, 7 votes! What? Like, what the fuck? I really...
Okay, so that 7 has been so significant to me because as a child of faith, 7 represents perfection. I'm proud to say in 2017, I made history when I became the first woman elected and the first black person elected to lead the largest Democratic Party in the state of Ohio. Now, we are not the most populous county. Despite being the Democratic Party chairperson, I was able to get that done with bipartisan support. Bipartisan support. Done unanimously.
Literally, there's like 2 people. One's like doing a half clap. And there's 1 person clapping. Like, this is bizarre. Like, this is some really, like, strange stuff.
And along with PCs for People, we were able to provide laptops, free Wi-Fi hotspots for 5,000 students for 2 years. So, the stuff I've been doing. Chantel Brown for Congress. Chantel Brown for Congress. God bless y'all. Thank you for coming out today.
Like, again, what is happening here? And like, she might win. I don't think she will, but what the fuck is that? Like, I mean, like, that is some serious fucking shit.
Get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
7 votes! Woo! 7! Whoa! What? Why? What? 7 votes? Yeah! 7! Whoa! 7! I'm shocked. I'm baffled. I mean, this is some really bizarre stuff. 7! I don't even know. I have no idea what the hell's going on in this world, but what a weird show. Holy fuck. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. For today, I'm done. And, you know, I appreciate checking this out. Hopefully the stream was good. It was very bizarre. Look at this dog. Look at the doggy. It was very fucking bizarre. This fucking dog. I got pictures of the dog, folks. Hold the phone. Can you imagine what's happening? Look at this fucking angel. This is happening right here. This is literally just happening right now. Like, I don't even know. Like, what the fuck? Nice try, Matt. Wait. Wait, hold up, everyone. My phone is ringing. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck you, Matt. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you again tomorrow.
Get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
Everybody comes in your grandmother here. Everybody comes in your grandmother, your father, your mother, your brother, your cousins. They come in so easily, so crazy. So crazy.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
He's of the devil. He was made in a cave in the worst parts of Europe, produced from the lowest forms of humanity.
Who are you worried about? I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.